What's up, everyone? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity Ant C, and I'm joined by my own personal hot commodity,
That's me.
Ant B. And we're saying goodbye to 2025 and
Thank
hello,
God.
yes, hello to 2001. I'm not sure if there was any food stamp issues back in 2001, but right now that's happening currently in the United States here. But we're going to say goodbye to Donald Trump and food stamp problems, and hello to Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley and Britney Spears. We're traveling back to the Attitude Year Season 4. But before we cover tonight's episode, there were two things that happened on this day of March 19th, 2001 that we've traveled back to. And first, we'll cover it in wrestling history. Tonight was the final episode of WCW Monday Nitro that aired on TNT right before WWF's purchase. So this is the last WCW owned Nitro that would air on.
Is this the one where?
No, that would happen. This is the last WCW owned. The next after this Raw, Vince owns WCW.
But people don't know.
They know that he bought them. That's why Shane made the comment in the episode where he's like, even billionaire Ted can't fight my dad because he had just bought it. So what they're saying is that this is the last fucking WCW run by Eric Bischoff and whoever was running WCW at the time.
Oh, okay.
And then the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame took place, and Aerosmith, Paul Simon, Queen, and Steely Dan were all inducted at the ceremony in New York City. So there you go. That happened on March 19th, 2001 in pop culture. But let's talk about what happened on Raw Is War live in Albany, New York. We have the WWF Hardcore Champion, The Big Show, defending the championship against Raven. And during this match, Kane comes out and attacks The Big Show. He hits Big Show with a flying clothesline. And then Raven kind of just falls on top of Big Show to become the new WWF Hardcore Champion with some help from Kane there after Raven hits Kane with a chair and then ducks away. But Raven's the new hardcore champion, and Kane got some revenge on Big Show here.
That's right. I kind of forgot about that. Yeah. I guess like where Raven's new in the company, and I mean he's from ECW, so hardcore's their thing.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of maybe it'll be a good move. I think I mentioned this once before, but Paul Heyman said that he thinks Raven could have done the most and been the biggest success, and he was wasted. He said that if he could have rebooked and gone back and done anything, that it would have been for him to push Raven, because he said he was very great at storytelling and he was a great wrestler and everything. Do I see that? No, but you got to trust Paul Heyman. I mean, he's the GOAT.
Yeah,
so.
He's someone who's really reliable. He didn't pay his workers for years.
But he's a wrestling mastermind. I mean, he is. So, I'm just saying, if Paul Heyman's saying it, there must be a little something behind it. So,
but what do you think about Kane and Big Show, though? That's more of the important thing here.
Kane and Big Show. Yeah, I think we're gonna get a lot of like Kane, Undertaker, Big Show, because who else is a good rivalry for Big Show? The only people that are believable are Kane and Undertaker. So, I feel like they're the only ones that measure up, no pun intended. So, I think we're going to get more of this. And it was pretty good. For Big Show storylines are never great. So,
We'll see. Well, moving on to a good storyline. Shane McMahon comes out. Shane says, people ask me what's it like to have Vince McMahon as a father. It's been a thrill ride. No one could stop my pop, not even billionaire Ted. I knew something had to be changed. I saw my dad lose it on Bob Costas. So my question, Dad, is do you want to play with me? Now, this is important. The Bob Costa interview was where Vince McMahon lost his shit on the HBO Sportscaster. It was like, you want to fight with me, pal? Like, threaten him. It was funny. Shane says, in my hand, I have a contract for a match between us at WrestleMania. If you got the grapefruits, accept my challenge. And then I think the biggest person, the McMahon family that have grapefruits, Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley comes out. And she says, Shane, you don't want to do this. Doesn't our family have enough problems? I know you're upset about Mom, but Dad is doing this because he loves us. Now rip up that contract. Think about the money, all the inheritance that you're gonna throw it all away. Let's be one big happy family. And then Vince McMahon and Trish Stratus come out. Vince says, when I see you, I think of your mother in her comatose state. What kind of a son would challenge her dad to a match? You tried me when you were 16, 18, and 24, but I'm Vince McMahon. Trish, go on down and bring that contract to me. So then Vince walks down, signs the contract in front of Jim Ross, and Vince says, you got me at WrestleMania, you'll get a little bit of me now. And then Vince takes off his coat, but then Triple H appears from behind, beats the shit out of Shane. Vince orders Triple H to give him a pedigree, which Triple H does, and then Triple H holds on to Shane's like hair and head as Triple H says, "Let me say something. I'll never forgive your mother for giving birth to you." And at WrestleMania, I'm wheeling her down to be in my corner as she watches me kick your ass. And then we come back from the commercial break and we see Triple H tossing Shane McMahon to a garage door backstage and then into the limo. Shane's head is hanging out of the limo window and Vince nails Shane with a chair and says, our match at WrestleMania is a street fight. A lot of drama. You know, we have Stephanie McMahon and Triple H getting involved. Stephanie being like, why would you do this? You're going to ruin your inheritance. Shane's like, fuck this. I want to fight my dad. Vince saying that, you know, he'll never forgive Linda giving birth to Shane. He promises he's going to bring Linda down, the street fight. This is a lot going on. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is, you know, great classic attitude stuff. I really like that Shane came back. I think he adds a lot to it. And it's a good civil war. Civil rivalry.
Sibling rivalry.
Sibling rivalry, thank you. And, you know, it's nice to always have one power that's a face. You know, the greater's got to be the bad so that he can overcome. But I think it's going to be a good match. I'm excited to see
I was so upset as a kid with this. When he said those words, I'm telling you, I'll never forget the word. I'll never forgive your mother for giving birth to you. I was like,
especially if you're a kid like that, that's mean shit. He and Vince.
I wonder if he liked this. Like, I feel like he liked doing this. Like he enjoyed this. And it's like fucked up that you would want to do this.
Sure, you can see it. He gets off on it.
So next up, we have WWF Tag Team Champions, the Hardy Boys. They come out with Lita. They're supposed to take on the Dudley Boys, but Edge and Christian come out and say that their flight has been delayed, so they're going to take the Dudley's place. During the match, Matt lands a twist of fate to Edge, and then Jeff lands a swanton bomb. But then ECW's own Rhyno appears and lays out Jeff Hardy with a gore. Edge gets the pin, and we have new WWF Tag Team Champions in Edge and Christian. After the match, Edge and Christian tell Rhyno to head to the hotel. They'll meet him there. And the Dudley Boys walked in champions, and they lost the titles without actually losing them. Or, I'm sorry, they didn't walk in as champions. They lost their title shot without even losing the match. What do you think about Rhyno coming back and helping Edge and Christian? When, I mean, you don't know much about Rhyno, but what do you think of his debut?
I mean, I don't know why he's siding with Edge and Christian. I can guess that maybe he had a rivalry with an ECW. Maybe he's doing it against the Dudleys. I don't know. We'll see.
It looks like he was hired by them because Edge and Christian don't really want anything to do with him. They're like, just go back to the
possibly.
hotel, you know?
Yeah, kind of like an APA, you know.
So we see Undertaker backstage on his motorcycle, and Commissioner Regal serves Undertaker a restraining order from Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley, stating that if Undertaker gets within 25 feet of Stephanie, he'll be arrested. So then Taker tells Regal, don't worry, tell the princess, she's fine. But he tells Regal that they're going to have a heart-to-heart later, and he tells Regal that he's an endangered species and snitches are a dying breed. So strong words there from Taker. And then Triple H talks to Big Show backstage and tells Big Show that he has an idea for him. To get back at Kane, you have to go after the American Badass. So we'll see how that plays out. What do you think about Stephanie getting that restraining order against Taker?
I think it was a smart move because, like Jim Ross said, he's always with her and, You know, he's scared. I think I don't know, scared, but he's definitely intimidated, and I you know, the Undertaker always gets that rap, like like oh shit. Even when he's not the Undertaker character, he's very scary. So Triple H definitely helped like make him feared like that because even Triple H is scared.
Trying to get the Big Show to help him. Next, we have Steven Richards with Val Venus taking on Taz. Early on in the match, Taz applies the Taz mission to both Venus and Richards, but then WWF champion The Rock comes out and attacks all three men. So the match is the rule of no contest. Rock grabs the mic and says, Stone Cold Steve Austin, since you don't have the courtesy to be here to talk to me face to face, I'm going to have to say this now. Stone Cold, you stunned me twice. Tonight, all of a sudden, you have plane problems, but you actually have Rock problems. Rock isn't waiting till WrestleMania. Stone Cold, you enjoy your flight because the second you step foot in this arena, your bald candy ass belongs to The Rock. Strong words there from The Rock, man.
Laying the smackdown verbally.
I think The Rock is one of the only people that has no fear to go toe-to-toe to Austin. Triple H too, but Rock is like not afraid of Austin whatsoever.
Nah.
We see the Dudley Boyz arrive at the airport, and Jonathan Coachman tells them that, like, what happened, their situation with the titles. They're like, our planes got canceled. There was a situation. They were delayed, and they're ready to go to the arena. We then see WWF European Champion Test taking on Triple H. The Undertaker comes out during the match and gets on the ramp. Big Show comes out behind the Undertaker with a steel chair, but Kane shows up, attacks Big Show, hits Big Show with the chair, and then Kane goes on to chase Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley to the backstage area, leaving Triple H alone with the Undertaker. So Undertaker attacks the game, lifts him up for a one-arm chokeslam, but Big Show attacks Taker. Triple H leaves. Test then sort of shoves Taker because he's mad that he got involved, and Taker lays out Test with a chokeslam. Backstage, we come back from the commercial, and Kane has Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley or a doll up in a military press, like over his head.
They're in like a parking garage, and he's way up on the top, up like several staircases, looking like he's about to throw her over. And if he did, he'd kill her.
And Taker wants, the only way for Stephanie to come down is if he books Taker versus Triple H and Kane versus the Big Show at WrestleMania, which Commissioner Regal does. So you did say that Stephanie's plan was smart, but it did backfire on her because now Triple H has to fight the Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Well, we knew the Undertaker would figure out a way around it. The Undertaker's pretty
savvy.
Resourceful.
Yeah. Next up, we have Steve Blackman and Grandmaster Sexay taking on X-Pac and Just Incredible with Albert in their corner. During the match, Albert gets involved and lands an Albert bomb to Grandmaster Sexay, allowing Just Incredible to get the pin. Don't care, to be honest with you. Do you?
Grandmaster Black.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Boring.
We see Chris Jericho entering Commissioner Regal's office, and he grabs his teacup, like his little teapot thing,
and pisses in it.
Goes in the backstage area. We don't see him peeing, but you hear the sound effects. And then he zips up the zipper. And then Commissioner Regal's in his office, and Harvey Wippleman tries to tell him, what happened, but Regal's like, get out of my way. He drinks the tea.
I need a spot of tea.
And it's clearly it's piss, so he's grossed out, and he goes, "Oh, it's pretty tart." So, Commissioner Regal, you just drank Jericho's piss. Next up, WWF Women's Champion Ivory comes out with a cardboard cutout of Chyna, and Ivory says, "My friend Chyna, doesn't she look great? She looks as phony as ever, dumb as a board. Little Miss Chyna won't be competing at WrestleMania. After I broke her neck and sent her to the hospital, she's never been the same." And then Ivory starts talking to the cutout, and she says, "The goal of you challenging me to a match, that surprised me. There's nothing more I want to do than humiliate you, but I'm a loving, civilized individual. This is a legal document that states if you get hurt at WrestleMania, it's your fault. Do you have any comment?" And then she goes, "You let down the people and robbed me of my greatest achievement at WrestleMania. I'm going to give you a sample of what could have been." And then Ivory just beats the shit out of the cardboard. She rips the head off. And then Chyna comes out. We haven't seen Chyna since the Royal Rumble. She hits, and she's wearing a big Playboy Bunny shirt. She lands a DDT to Ivory, signs the contract, and now Chyna will take on Ivory at WrestleMania. You were happy for this.
Yeah,
You popped.
I've been
What do you
waiting for
think?
Chyna, and it was great. She looked good. Chyna looked really good. I thought she was the prettiest she ever looked here. She just did Playboy. Chyna lost her. Like, she doesn't look so manly anymore. And she fucking showed up. She looked good, and she showed up. Chyna, she's winning that belt.
I loved this storyline as a kid. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, get her, because remember, I hated RTC because they always ruined the nudity shit. So I was like, Chyna redemption, get them. All right.
I've always loved Chyna, and I know her time is coming to an end, so I'm sad.
All right. Well, we still have a little bit more time.
My poor Joni.
New WWF Tag Team Champions Edge and Christian have booked themselves into a tag match against the Dudley Boyz, as well as William Regal, who books them in it. During the match, we see Edge accidentally spear Christian, and then Spike Dudley makes his debut and lands a Dudley dog to Christian onto a steel chair that allows the Dudleys to land at 3 to Edge. And in the second time in a row, we have new tag team champions. The Dudley Boyz get the championship with help from their friend, the runt little Spike Dudley. What'd you think?
Yeah, unfortunately, I was peeing in the bathroom during this time.
Jericho.
But like Chris Jericho. But I knew Spike was coming soon. I was excited. I think it'll add a lot to the tag team division and the storylines. And it was fun. It was good.
Little Spike Dudley, and the Dudleys are now tag champions again. We see Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. They're talking before their main event match, and Angle basically tells Benoit, put The Rock in a crossface so that I can set up the ankle lock and I can break his neck. And Benoit's like, set up for the ankle lock. He's like, all right. And then we get our main event. We have a handicap match. Commissioner William Regal, Kurt Angle, and Chris Benoit against the WWF Intercontinental Champion Chris Jericho and the WWF Champion The Rock. Before the match, Jericho grabs the mic and says to Chris Jericho that and says to Regal, tonight will be a golden opportunity to figure out your favorite letter in the alphabet. I think after tonight, it's the letter P, which is clearly referencing the fact that Jericho pissed in Regal's teacup. During the match, Jericho applies a Walls of Jericho to Regal and then a Lion Salt to Chris Benoit. Benoit applies a crossface to The Rock, but then Regal hits Chris Jericho with the Intercontinental Championship, pins Chris Jericho, and now we have the win here for Regal, Benoit, and Angle. I forgot to mention that Regal will challenge Jericho for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania, so Regal has the advantage here. After the match, Stone Cold Steve Austin appears, and he lands a stunner to Kurt Angle, but then The Rock hits Austin with the WWF Championship and then lays out the Texas Rattlesnake with a rock bottom. Getting revenge. We've seen Austin lay out The Rock with a couple of stunners the past couple of weeks. Crazy night.
Yeah, The Rock finally got his rock bottom, man.
Sure did.
Austin had it coming, so.
What'd you think? This is a really good episode of Raw.
This was like the best episode, or one of the best episodes of Raw, I think, ever. Like, so much happened. We had Chyna returning. We had Spike Dudley premiere. There was great stuff. Undertaker and Triple H. We had Austin. It was really good. We had Vince and Shane. This was we had title changes. This was a great Raw. Absolutely, you should go back and watch it.
It was a really great episode. And like I said this to you while we were watching, I felt like all of these moments happened at different times, but this was one night. So I'm excited. We've got SmackDown, another Raw, another SmackDown, and then we're hitting WrestleMania 17, the granddaddy of them all.
WrestleMania.
So to find out our takes on everything in the Attitude Years, make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. And since we're on the road to WrestleMania, why don't you go back and watch our recaps of WrestleMania 14, 15, and 2000 and get you prepared for WrestleMania 17. Until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.